Dodgers, having won 25 of their last 30 games in this ballpark, have a chance to take 3 of 4 from the rival Giants. Hope you're having a great night. Joe Davis, Orel Hershiser, and Alana Rizzo joins us in a moment. The Dodgers have won each of the last 2 games in this series, and the offense has exploded 9 runs in both those games.
Everybody's contributing. The long ball is there, getting hits with runners in scoring position. They've had 6 home runs over the last couple days. They're hitting 380 as a team, and it's not just your major components. It's the whole lineup, from Garlick to Taylor to whoever's hitting, whoever's up there, and Cody Bellinger, the MVP candidate, continues to stay hot. This has been a very fun team to watch.
Yeah, fun offense to watch, but yesterday, Orel, with Rich Hill going just 1 inning, the bullpen really saved the day.
This bullpen has been outstanding, not just saving the day yesterday, but June. This is a bullpen they've hit only 134 against, and with men on even lower than that at 117. So all of these components, like the offense, are firing in the right order.
And it's going to be back-to-back bullpen days, really, because Julio Urias is going to make the start for the Dodgers tonight as they try to piece things together again.
Well, with Madison Bumgarner on the other side and Julio Urias going up against him, this is going to be quite the competitor. You've got one young man who wants to be the face of the Dodger organization in this competition, and then you've got a guy at 29 years old. This might be his last outing as a Giant, and the Dodgers want to give him a sending-off party.
Started against the Dodgers, of course, about a week and a half ago, and Max Muncy hit that iconic home run against him and told him to go get it out of the ocean. Muncy will back cleanup for the Dodgers tonight. What will it have in store? I think we're all excited to watch this matchup. The Dodgers and the Giants with the first pitch coming up.
Angeles Dodgers, they have placed Rich Hill on the IL. They have also optioned Matt Beatty back to Oklahoma City. The reason being is they need coverage in the Dodgers bullpen, so they have called up JT Chargois. In addition, they have also called up Josh Sborz to provide some coverage for a pen that was used last night and will certainly be used tonight in another bullpen game.
All right, Alana, so the other side of that is that this is a 3-man bench that Dave Roberts will have for this one. Here comes Max Muncy, starting in second base and batting cleanup. And the follow-up against Madison Bumgarner. Here's the lineup for the Giants in the finale with Joe Panik to lead things off. Then Tyler Austin and Buster Posey. Cleanup man is Brandon Belt. Longoria is the third baseman hitting 5th, with Pilar in center field out of the 6th spot. Crawford and Yastrzemski round things out in front of always a good hitter out of the pitching spot, Madison Bumgarner. Long-term, Julio Urias will be a starter. He began this season as one, made 4 starts before moving to the bullpen, not because of poor performance, but because Hill and Kershaw came back, and because they're still paying attention to the health of that left arm.
He's going to face for about 3 innings, an even split in this Giant roster as far as lefties and righties, and he has reverse splits. Lefties hit him better than righties, so you would expect, okay, they're going to pick on the young fella, the right-handers, but that's not true. His breaking ball not quite as good as his changeup yet, so the breaking ball to lefties a little bit rolly at times, but the changeup fastball combination to righties has been dominant.
Closed captioning tonight brought to you by Howard's Appliances, your appliance specialists. The Dodgers 5-2 on this homestand. With the Twins losing last night, LA has the best record in baseball. For the first time since 1977, they've won 50 of their first 75 games. Dropped the opener of this series, then back-to-back 9-run outbursts, winning 9-0 and 9-2. And now going for the series win. Off we go with a fastball that's a little bit low, according to Dana DeMuth, calling balls and strikes tonight. And it's 1-0 on Joe Panik. Last night, the Giants held to 3 runs or fewer for the 10th consecutive game against the Dodgers. These teams have been playing head-to-head since 1890. That's the longest streak of 3 runs or fewer for either side. That's a strike, and it's 2-1.
Little different feeling tonight for Julio, getting back and getting to start. That rhythm coming out of the pen. A little more adrenaline as a reliever when the phone rings and it's your name. And Julio would really know approximately a lot more than other relievers down there if it's his night or not. Not quite the surprise of some of the other guys down there. They usually warn him about, you're going to piggyback here with this starter. You've had your 2 to 3 days off as we protect your arm, so we know we can use you as a long guy, but don't be surprised also you might get the 7th, 8th, and 9th and get a save.
Home of the payoff pitch, and Panik fouls it off.
I think all these experiences for Julio, not the ones that are protecting his arm, but the ones where he's in all different situations, from finishing a game to a 3-inning save to coming in the middle of a jam to starting games. He's going to be a much better pitcher getting this broad education.
Still just 22 years old. Panik pops this one up. Very ball-colored sky tonight. A light gray. Taylor peeks up to, makes the catch, one gone. Rest of the defense looks like this, brought to you by Keck Medicine of USC. Garlick another start in left field with Hernandez in center, and yes, no Cody Bellinger tonight, getting an off day. So Verdugo's in right with Turner and Taylor on the left side, Muncy and Freeze on the right, and Barnes catching. One away first inning. Here's Tyler Austin. Hit a home run last night. His 6th as a Giant after they acquired him from the Minnesota Twins in early April. That is one of just 5 runs and one of just 11 hits in the 3 games for San Francisco. Here on an 0-1, he watches a curve miss, ball 1.
With a pitcher-friendly home ballpark for the Giants, they need guys like Tyler Austin with his raw power to be able to bring them some power to that ballpark. It's a part of their offense they have missed. Also with that park, it's also a kind of place that's really hard to play defense because it's so big and you've got the wind, and his defense is going to need to improve if he's going to be an everyday player and be a power hitter there.
It's big, you've got the wind, and you've got the quirks as far as the dimensions, and the bullpen's in play. High fastball, cut on and miss, and it's even at 2-2. And Austin is an infielder by trade, mostly a first baseman, but the Giants have Belt long term. And so most of his time coming in left right now. A 2-2, and a strikeout for Urias, 2 gone.
Absolutely beautiful high fastballs there at 96. The first one tied him up. The second one not in as good of an area, but the velocity and knowing that he missed the last one there, very nice sequence.
2 up, 2 down, and he'll now face Posey. And it is, of course, fitting that Buster Posey will catch Madison Bumgarner tonight. One of the most frequent batteries in baseball over the last decade. That's high, and it's 1-1.
It's a little bittersweet when you think about Bruce Bochy having his last year with such a down team of the Giants. It's a little bittersweet watching Madison Bumgarner maybe throw to Buster Posey for the last time facing the Giants. Bumgarner's intensity is infectious, not only to his own team, but to the opposing team, to the opposing fans, to the game. There's an adrenaline, there's an energy about his games.
3-1 on Posey.
Your emotions might start with disliking a guy like that in the midst of a rivalry like this. But sooner or later, the longer it goes, this being his 35th start against the Dodgers over the course of his career, there gets to this level of mutual respect.
That's foul, and it's full. And I mean, you should have heard the boos when they introduced Madison Bumgarner from Dodger Stadium. I think that is the ultimate show of respect, right? They're not going to boo if they don't care, if they don't respect what you've done over the decade.
Reggie Jackson used to say, they don't boo nobodies.
Right. Yeah. Barry Bonds used to talk about how much he enjoyed playing here because of that. He felt respected because he felt the fans hating him And there was a little more to it with Barry Bonds, but before Madison Bumgarner, for a decade and a half, you could probably call Barry Bonds the face of the franchise from the Giants' perspective, the face of the rivalry from the Giants' perspective. There was a year gap between those two guys. Bumgarner took over and has kind of been that guy for the long time since. It's past the diving Turner and down the line into the left field corner. Posey's first hit of the series is a 2-out double here in the first.
This is hit perfectly, hit firmly. Justin Turner had a shot at it as he reaches out. A couple of feet wide. Comfortable to give up a 2-out double, but not comfortable when the next hitter is Brandon Belt,
who, besides being their best hitter this season, has a home run against Urias, lefty on lefty. Although, as you see there, it's been a bit of a slump for him lately, 0 for his last 12. A little bit low, ball one. And because they only have 11 hits, there haven't been a ton of opportunities, but they have been miserable when they've had those opportunities. 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position in these 3 games. On a 1-0 pitch, Belt swings and hacks it foul. It's 1-1.
A lot of times in these situations, man on second, first base open, 2 out. Okay, who's the hitter and who's on deck? Oh, I got a lefty, and I'm a lefty on the mound. I'll battle Belt. Well, with reverse splits, you look over at Longoria, and he's 0 for 4 off of Urias, and Belt's hitting .333 off of him. So pitch him carefully.
Here comes the 1-1. It's a breaking ball that catches the top of the zone, and it's 1-2. Being a big guy bit him there, didn't it?
Veteran Posey, catcher at second base. Austin Barnes gave a target of fastball up and in, and then shifted away to throw the breaking ball. Dodgers taking care of every detail, making sure signs aren't being relayed.
And then a nice frame job from Barnes, who rates as one of the best at that. A 1-2. And a strikeout with a fastball at 97. Urias with a scoreless first. Enter Madison with this lineup. And, of course, as it always is when it's Bumgarner for the Giants, it's Hernandez for the Dodgers leading it off. Then Turner and Freese, followed by Max Muncy out of the cleanup spot, starting at second base tonight. Chris Taylor's the shortstop. Then it's the left fielder, Kyle Garlick. Verdugo in right, and Barnes catching. 35th start for Madison Bumgarner against the Dodgers. Over the long history of this rivalry, only Juan Marichal has started more games for the Giants against L.A., and he's been really good. 29 years old out of Hickory, North Carolina, 10 consecutive quality starts against the Dodgers.
He can pitch, he can hit, but how do you beat him at this point in his career? Well, the velocity's up a tick from the last couple years, but it's really about hitting the slider/cutter. He will change shapes, he will elevate, he will take it down and sweep it away from you. But right now, he's facing a guy who's figured him out.
Like nobody else across baseball. Hernandez, 24 for 48 against Bumgarner lifetime, and he came out swinging. 0-1. That includes 4 home runs against Bumgarner. On this 0-1 pitch, he pokes it foul, and it's 0-2. Playing over Performance Spotlight, giving you a little better look at those numbers. You know, a lot of times you see head-to-head, and you see a number like 500, and you're like, oh, so what, 3 for 6? No. 24 for 48. 4 home runs and 6 doubles for Hernandez, who smartly has never revealed a secret. On an 0-2 pitch, he leaves it up, ball 1.
It's really interesting when you look at Kike's career numbers, and then he picks on a guy like Mad Bum. Kike has been looking for the consistency that he has against Bumgarner.
Here's his 1-2. He clipped his foot. On a 1-2 pitch, it hits Hernandez, and the Dodgers get the leadoff man on.
Justin Turner.
Sometimes history influences the present tense, and I think the extra effort of Kike's record against Bumgarner influenced that overthrow.
So now it's Turner, who doesn't have the same kind of average that Hernandez does against Bumgarner, but he too has 4 home runs against him. Here he takes a strike. Well, Bumgarner's best start this season was against the Dodgers 2 starts ago. Just the Muncy home run over 7 innings. 3 starts this year, a sub-1 ERA against LA. Turner reaches out, flips one to right, caught by Yastrzemski. So 1-on-1 out, and here comes Freese.
David has been on a hot streak. Swings the bat very well. Will definitely use the right side of the diamond. Maybe more than anybody in the big leagues.
Strike 1.
The league tries to jam him, but his approach, in some ways, you'd want to pitch him away because he's very good at pushing the ball off of him when you're trying to get it in on his hands.
Also, he stands so far off of the plate. When you're trying to throw in on him, it's almost like throwing it over the heart of the plate to a guy positioned normally in the box.
A right-hander that's going to the opposite field, a lot of times you want to establish in to open up the area out there. But for David, sometimes you think about establishing a way, getting him kind of reaching out there, then opening up the inside by making him dive a little bit.
From that shot there, look how far he'd have to lean out to protect the outside corner. The Bumgarner continues to come in, and he gets ahead of him 1-2.
That ball's 6 inches off the plate inside. Electronically, we saw the 93 in there, and it wasn't a swing like David was uncomfortable. He was locked in and balanced. It's about as far as I want to go on how to get a Dodger hitter out.
Man, with all the information these days, they know everything that there is to know.
But they might not have the priority list right.
Well, then stop right where you are. 2-2.
It's one thing to know where the holes are from the data. It's another thing to get to the hole correctly and maybe save it for key situations.
Runner at first, 1 out. Bumgarner to Freese with a 2-2. Hernandez runs on a pitch that was low. Throw down not in time. They say that Freese offered. So Freese is out number 2, but Hernandez moves into scoring position.
David did lose his balance a little bit on this pitch, and the bat ended up crossing over the plate with the swing. No interference on Posey, but it does get Hernandez into scoring position.
And it gets Max Muncy to the plate. Max says he doesn't think that Madison Bumgarner is going to retaliate. Doesn't think he's going to throw at him. There is another added dynamic to the whole thing. Bruce Bochy was asked prior to the game what he thought about the T-shirts that the Dodgers have been wearing, Bumgarner or Muncy included. Go get it out of the ocean. That is down and away in ball 1. And Bochy had a pretty interesting response. He said, that seems like poking the bear. And if you poke the bear, you can't be surprised if eventually he bites back. That ball is in the ocean. Bumgarner Bumgarner's 1-0. Muncy takes it low. Hernandez has third with Bumgarner not even checking. And you can understand why Bumgarner's attention would be solely on the hitter in this matchup.
And Bumgarner's body language as Posey was just eating the baseball was like, never mind, no big deal.
On a 2-0, Muncy rips a line drive, base hit right field to give the Dodgers the lead against Bumgarner in the first. Different style, but same result. It's a Muncy swing that gives the Dodgers a 1-0 lead against Bumgarner.
Both pitcher and hitter, after the results, keep their head down. No eye contact, no body language. Very professional result from Max Muncy, and a very professional reaction from both of them.
With that RBI single, Muncy's on-base streak now 29 games behind just Charlie Blackmon, who extended his to 30 today for Colorado, and strike one on Chris Taylor.
I can only think of the same situation in Yasiel Puig getting hit off a mad bum, and thinking of the reaction of Yasiel at first base.
Throwing the bat in the air on his way down there.
Little Sammy Sosa kiss to the sky. Some finger pointing.
And we loved him for it.
Oh, we sure did.
Taylor behind it 0-2. From Bumgarner's perspective, he said after the whole incident in San Francisco a couple weeks ago, he said, look, the whole let the kids play that everybody's saying, I can't. I just can't. If we're going to let everybody be themselves, you got to let me be me. And this is me being me, he said. And you respect and understand that too. And you appreciate it. It's part of what has made this rivalry what it's been in this era.
I totally appreciate it and respect it. You want your athletes to give everything, and it's even more fun when they show it. Fans love it when the people next to them are into a game. Fans love it when the players are into the game. And it's even better when everybody's letting out their emotions. One of the reasons that this crowd in this city fell in love with Tommy Lasorda. It was all over him. And that's why they love Dave Roberts. They see the emotion, the passion, the exuberance, and the yelling from the bench, touching and talking to his players on a daily basis. That's the manager they would want.
Muncy takes his lead at first as Bumgarner whips another 0-2 and Taylor leaves it up. Kind of in the same way that Bumgarner has more or less been a quote-unquote villain in this rivalry. That's what Tommy Lasorda was for much of his time. That's what you were, even though you didn't necessarily have the type of nasty country streak that Madison Bumgarner has. It's what makes rivalries great. The antagonist. The 1-2 and ball 2.
I grew up with the game of the week, and the game of the week was Yankees-Boston. Tony Kubek, Joe Garagiola, Vin Scully at times. The game of the week was Dodgers-Giants. The game of the week was Dodgers-Reds. I mean, you grew up watching baseball, falling in love with baseball, and the game of the week, because there was only one game a week, told you where the best games were and where the rivalries were. And it becomes part of you. It's part of your personality, part of your blood.
2-2. Ball 3 after he got ahead of him 0-2. And so now Muncy will get a head start from first with a guy coming off his first career multi-home run game, ready to cut it loose again.
These feelings are passed on from generation to generation. Get that hat off. Well, I like these colors. No, you can't wear that hat in this house.
There he goes. Here it comes. It is down and in, ball 4. Third base runner of the inning against Bumgarner, and Kyle Garlick will get an opportunity with 2 out.
And isn't it so much easier to talk about the emotions of the Dodger-Giant rivalry when Madison Bumgarner's on the mound.
100%.
It is so not out of context because he is a participant, and he's a willing participant, and he's ready to show you how much and how important this is to him.
Two on, two out. Garlick hit his first career home run last night. Swings and misses at that cutter, strike one. Kyle Garlick's first start in the major leagues came in San Francisco with Madison Bumgarner on the mound. Went 0 for 3 against him, but gets another opportunity here. Back-to-back cutters, back-to-back strikes. Here's his home run from last night. He was able to get the ball back with a much lower asking price than the other two guys that hit their first career home runs. Will Smith hit his. The fan wanted a Bellinger signed bat. Matt Beatty hit his. Wanted a Bellinger signed ball. The fan that caught Garlick's just wanted a Garlick signed ball. Can't lay off. That's strike 3. And that's the inning. But it's Max Muncy with an arc into the second. Evan Longoria will start things off for the Giants. Former Long Beach State dirtbag, former Tampa Bay Ray in his second season with the Giants. He takes ball one from Julio. Third overall pick of the draft, 2006. So we've told you before that Walker Buehler, Andrew Friedman's first draft pick. Well, Evan Longoria was Andrew Friedman's first draft pick as well, running the Tampa Bay Devil Rays at that point. Made his major league debut a couple years after that. And boy, was he special or what early on in his career. I mean, he was elite his first 6 seasons, led him to 4 postseason trips, an organization that had done not a whole lot of anything prior to his arrival. One Rookie of the Year, led him to the pennant. He's an all-star each of his first 3 seasons, but hasn't been an all-star in the 8 years since, and it has been a rough go of it since changing coasts and changing teams. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Those early years as a youngster, he didn't melt down in the big games either. He had some really good Septembers. Some crucial hits down the stretches.
Went to St. John Bosco in Southern California. Didn't have a ton of recruiting interest actually in high school. It wasn't until he got to Long Beach State that he really bloomed into a big-time prospect. On the corner, he looks at strike 3, and Julio's already got his 3rd.
Well, so far, he has developed a lot of confidence in his fastball, and if you're going to throw it here at his velocity, I'd be confident too. He's been showing the right-handers up and in and crowding them, and now he's showing them low and away.
One gone, second inning. Here's Pilar. Fires a strike with a fastball. The Giants had a season-high 4-game winning streak, but they've dropped 3 of 4 since. So it can change up there, and it's 0-2. 31 and 41 overall. Only the Marlins have a worse record in the National League, and so you expect full-on sell mode Bruce Bochy's final year. Little pop-up. Turner's got it. 2 gone.
It would never happen, but Bruce Bochy might have the most value on their team. You should trade him to a contender that needs a new manager, needs a turnaround. You could make the playoffs with him.
Trade him for like a minor league coordinator or something who you think has managing capabilities down the road, but not quite ready. Let him grow.
What if there's a third base or first base coach that they're thinking about interviewing to manage the Giants next year, and trade Bochy for that guy, get him in the organization early?
See if you like him. Crawford swings at the first pitch. A little teardrop to short. Chris Taylor And on 10 pitches, down go the Giants 1-2-3. The first inning, and it's 1-0 Dodgers to the last of the second. Giant defense in this game brought to you by Keck Medicine of USC. Yastrzemski, Pilar, and Austin in the outfield with Longoria and Crawford, both 3-time Gold Glove winners. Panik at second, Belt at first, and Posey catching Bumgarner. He faces the bottom of the Dodge order here. His first one to Alex Verdugo is a strike. Bumgarner in his 9th full Major League season. Debuted with a few games in 2009. Started about half a season in 2010, and then that's when he was key during that World Series run. And the first of the 3 for the Giants over those 5 seasons. Actually didn't make his first opening day roster until 2011. But then made 6 consecutive seasons with 30 or more starts. That slap left side. Longoria throws over to get Verdugo. I think that's why it's been a little bit jarring the last couple of years when he hasn't been part of the equation. The rivalry hasn't felt quite as good. That's because the Giants haven't been as good the last couple of years, but it's also because you haven't had his face in it.
Yeah, when he's not around, baseball is not in a good place, and the Giants for sure are not in a good place, and that downgrades this rivalry in a heartbeat.
Austin Barnes swings at the first pitch, and a weak little pop fly to right for Austin. 2 out. I continue to be shocked by the fact that he's still just 29. Not that he looks older, the stuff seems older. It's just he's been around so long.
So good, so young. He and Clayton Kershaw.
Urias, ball 1.
A lot of guys don't make it to the big leagues till 23, 24. These guys got 3 and 4 years under their belt at that age. Buehler and Urias are going to be those kind of guys. Getting here at a young age. Being protected a little bit more with their innings and their usage.
That's bunted left side. Longoria will make a running throw to get Urias. And a 1-2-3 second for Madison Bumgarner.
In this inning, and, you know, Madison Bumgarner certainly could be facing the Dodgers for the final time in a San Francisco Giants uniform because he could be traded before the non-waiver trade deadline. Dave Roberts saying this about the potential of the end of an era.
He's meant a lot to this rivalry, and he's enhanced it as far as the compete, raising levels for both sides. You know, there's been a lot of shirts that have come about because of Bum, so that's a good thing as well.
And, of course, Max Muncy wearing the shirt today. Go get the ball out of the ocean. But so far in that first at-bat, pretty professional approach on both sides, guys.
Artelana. Yeah, Max said his wife Kelly had the shirt on today, too. Get it out of the ocean, sure. Those things are selling like hotcakes across Los Angeles. I think some of the T-shirt companies have talked about it being one of their best-selling shirts of the entire summer.
Dieter Rule played Under the Sea as Muncy was up there. Under the sea, darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me.
Dieter's the best. Mike Yastrzemski leads off this third against Urias and takes a fastball high. Bumgarner will bat next, and then it's back to the top in Joe Panik.
Don't test me on any of your groups, but don't. I'll get you on Disney songs.
Yeah, is that your wheelhouse?
Oh,
1-1. SpongeBob could apply tonight too, I think, you know.
Yeah.
He lives in Pineapple under the sea. Off-speed pitch, gets a swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. So Urias starting things off on what will be a bullpen night for the Dodgers, and JT Chargois just recalled today. Looks like he'll follow him. There was some performance from the pen last night. 8 innings between 5 relievers, just 2 runs, and a 9-2 Dodger win. And you said it, not just last night, but sneakily here in June, the #1 bullpen in baseball in terms of earned run average, which can be a little bit of a misleading statistic for bullpens. Swing and a miss, strike 3, 1 gone, his 4th K. But not misleading enough where it's wrong to say that they've been pretty darn good in June.
Well, they've been really good. Their batting average against the bullpen in June has been 134 with men on 117. So there's no real jarring statistic that all of a sudden gets you and says, you know, it's unheard of. They've got a flat tire and they've really just been lucky. No, they've been very good.
I think the one thing that's still an issue, there have been 4 blown saves in June. Madison Bumgarner swings and misses at a high fastball, and it's 0-1. 18 home runs in his career, 4 of them against the Dodgers. And Urias treating him like a guy who can hit the ball a long way. 0-2.
Almost 80% fastballs, but pulls the string on the pitcher.
See what he does, 0-2. Back to the heater high. The changeup. 5 strikeouts for Julio Urias, 1 time through the lineup.
3 swings. 1 at a high fastball, a changeup out in front, and then way out in front on the last one. Breaking him down.
Now Dieter's playing Cake by the Ocean.
Amazing thing about Dieter Rule is he doesn't have to go home and think about what I'm going to do. He has so many songs in his head. He just pulls one out.
Joe Panik, ground ball right side. Max Muncy just like that. Another 1-2-3 inning. This one on 10 pitches to the bottom of the 3rd. One driven in by Max Muncy. A home run in San Francisco 2 Sundays ago, and an RBI single in the 1st inning in this one. It's the only hit against Bumgarner once through the lineup. He's ready to face the lineup again. Hernandez to lead off this 3rd. Got Kike to 1-2 to open the night, and then hit him. That is a little bit inside, ball 1 from the 29-year-old from Hickory, North Carolina. Grew up in Caldwell County. Bumgarners have been in Caldwell County since the early 1900s. So many of them, and we've told this story before, but there's a part of the county that the locals know as Bumtown. But umpire Dana DeMuth goes off the outside a little bit to give him strike 1 there, 1-1. One of the first purchases Madison made with his signing bonus was a bunch of farmland in Bumtown. Eventually built a house and settled there. That's flipped foul, and it's 1-2. He was the 10th overall pick in 2007 as a high schooler in North Carolina. And had just finished practice with his high school team in the state tournament. It followed the draft in his high school's administrative office with all his coaches and his teammates and some classmates around him. And then signed a $2 million bonus. Paid off his mom's house. Bought a new truck for himself and for his then fiance, who's now his wife, Allie. That is fouled off, and it stays at 1-2, which kind of goes with the outdoorsy theme. He's a big hunter, big fisherman. He's even tried bear hunting before and got one. He got a bear. That's another 1-2 fly. Hernandez pops it to right for Tyler Austin. 1 away in the 3rd.
Number 10, Justin Turner.
Right, here's Turner.
Beard against beard.
Sweeps it in, strike one.
It's not a pitch you look for if you're Justin Turner. That slow curveball, that's thrown rarely. The out pitch is the cutter slash slider, and the reason we have trouble charting it, and so do the different websites, is because it just changes the shape all the time. He's got different philosophies. He visualizes what he wants, and he doesn't really have to tell Posey what shape he's going to throw. A harder, lower one like that one right there is going to look more like a cutter. And then he's got a bigger one where he tries to get a little bit more on the outside of the ball. And that's what really fools the hitter, I think, with that pitch, is that you read the spin, but you really don't know the speed or how much it's going to break because he's changing it.
On this 1-2, Turner hits a line drive left center field towards the gap. That'll split it and get up against the wall. Yastrzemski's throw is not in time, and Turner's got a one-out double.
Smooth swing. Just a great lever system. The timing is perfect. Not a lot of violence to that swing. When Justin Turner hits the ball, it's very smooth and rhythmic. A little different than that guy that was cheering for him on the bench. He can take some big swings.
Yeah, some violence to that. Rare off day for Cody, who was disappointed, wanted to be in there against Bumgarner, wanted that challenge. And we could see him off of the bench at some point, of course. Tapper to third, Longoria bare hands and gets freeze. A nice play by Evan Longoria for out number 2.
Justin Turner moves up. Once he saw the ball was hit weakly, Longoria charging. He snuck in behind him to third base. Longoria with a very nice play. Got some dirt on it from the soft dirt in front of home plate. Didn't let that bother the accuracy of that throw.
And so Bumgarner Muncy part 2 here tonight. Muncy with an RBI single his first time, extending his on-base streak to 29 games. Like Alana talked about, both sides playing it straight first time. There were no even inside pitches, I don't think. On a base hit, no glances exchanged. Max didn't expect that there'd be anything. He said, look, if he wants to hit me, go ahead and extend my on-base streak and raise my OPS. Ground ball, Panik will backhand it. Jump throw just in time. So the Dodgers strand Turner at third, and after 3, lead it 1-0. Ultimate driving machine. Hurry in to Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers, or visit SoCalBMW.com for details. And by Jack in the Box. Try Jack's $4.99 spicy chicken strips combo. Only a Jack in the Box for a limited time. Price and participation may vary. 1-0 Dodgers, middle innings, back at Dodger Stadium, and time for our Quicken Loans Do More to Win. The Dodger bullpen over the last 8 games, and this is covering 26 innings, has a 135 earned run average. You talked about it, not just the ERA, but the opponent's average exceptional. And after 3 innings tonight from Julio Urias, it's JT Chargois for the 4th. And that is strike 1 on Tyler Austin.
JT recalled prior to today's contest and was throwing the ball very well down in AAA, a 2.17 ERA. With the Dodgers since February of 2018. Came into the middle of camp and thought he had walked into Disneyland, he said. But it was unbelievable to see the Dodger whites in his locker and be greeted by Dave Roberts and the team. Now that fun is worn off, he's looking to make an impact again to stick on this roster.
Boy, Austin goes about a yard off of the plate fishing for that one, and one away in the fourth.
28, Buster Posey.
6 Giant strikeouts already. 5, of course, by Julio Urias, who was absolutely fantastic. So efficient. Julio's last 7 batters, he only threw 6 balls.
Wow.
That is loading up the strike zone.
One away for Posey. Doubled his first time. He's the lone base runner of the game for the Giants, and here he takes strike 1. You know, the same way that it's a little bit bittersweet watching what could be the final Bumgarner start against the Dodgers in a Giants uniform. It has been bittersweet, may even be too strong of a word. It's been a bummer to watch Buster Posey not be the same guy lately. Chop to Turner. And an easy play for out number 2. It's been largely because of injuries, the toll of catching every day over the course of the last decade. The big one, the hip surgery that he had last fall. You can say that it cleaned it up and it fixed it, but it's hip surgery for a catcher who is squatting down every single pitch. And the offensive numbers have not been close to what they were earlier in his career. Here's Belt with 2 gone. Ball 1. There's an article on The Athletic that Grant Brisbee wrote about Buster Posey and how it's important to adjust expectations as he reaches his early 30s. Not right to expect his MVP form to return from 2012. And even though he's hit 3rd and 4th in the lineup, probably not fair to expect him to hit like you expect a 3 or 4 hitter to hit. He's there because they don't have a whole lot else offensively. But you can hope for a decent average. You can hope for a decent on-base percentage and still some really good defense. And there's a lot of value in that from a catcher.
The veteran leadership, being able to take care of a pitching staff for sure. And then surrounding him with some offensive players where you don't expect him to have to carry the offense.
Chaguada Belt 1-2. Strikes him out with a back foot breaking ball. The Giants 1-0. Only 2 hits against Bumgarner. One of them an RBI single from Muncy in the first inning, driving in Kike Hernandez, who would open the game by getting hit and then stole 2nd and 3rd. Taylor walked his first time. Here it takes a sweeping breaking ball, strike 1.
Now, Chris Taylor's so hot. He's 1 for 21 off of Bumgarner coming into this game, but Dave Roberts throws him into the 5-hole and says, you know what, you're so hot, I don't care about the past record. You're swinging the bat the way I want you to, the way you want to be, and we need you up there in the heart of the order.
Chris Taylor's so hot right now.
You know, 8 out of 9 runs yesterday were they either scored or driven in by Taylor and Bellinger. Bellinger is rewarded with a day off. Taylor, go back into the 5-hole and help us out.
Behind here 1-2. He's 5 for his last 7 with those 2 home runs yesterday and a double. And Chris has said that while the results haven't always been there, he's felt pretty good for the last month or so. It's dribbled along 3rd and foul. You know what he's got that not everybody has is to take a look at his 3 hits last night, the exit velocity on those, 94 on that home run that bounced over the wall. A little bit softer on the double down the line, and then one of his hardest hit balls of the year and his longest home run of the year on that 3rd one. But what Chris has is that steady demeanor. You would never know if he's 0 for his last 10 or 5 for his last 7 as he is coming into this game. A little bit high, and it's 2-2. And my point in bringing that up is a lot of guys, if they feel great over the last month but have had the numbers that he's had over the last month, they would get really visibly most times frustrated. And you've not seen that from him. Down the line to right. That is going to drop fair. Taylor on his way to second with another extra base hit to lead off his fourth.
After describing his personality and the way he goes through slumps or gets hot, he'd be a really good husband or father. Very low key, very much factual, and works the problem. And when the success comes, he stays steady and stays concentrating.
Leadoff man on. Here's Garlick. Chris Taylor now 6 of his last 8. 4 extra base hits in that span. Now Garlick with a look at second from Bumgarner. Strike one.
Giants not a high-powered offense. Dodgers do have a high-powered offense, but at this point in the game with a 1-0 game, man on second, no out, key to move him over. Because if you can get to 3 runs, you got about a 90% chance of beating the Giants. Garlick trying to force it that way. Kind of chicken winged it over there. That front elbow kind of went up in the sky to keep the barrel lagging to try and force it to the right side of the diamond.
Kinds of things that can endear yourself to your new teammates. Kyle Garlick's still relatively fresh in a big league clubhouse. Trying to do those little things, those selfless things. It's tough here with an 0-2 count. Hits it foul and we'll do it again.
Yeah, it's tough to judge from up here what the hitter has been instructed to do. The big leagues now, the philosophy is not about giving away outs, but still in some situations managers will say, I want you to move them over, give yourself up, try and make a productive out to the right side. And other managers in other situations will say, hit for yourself.
Almost took Posey's glove off. Crossed up.
Yeah, I think it was a cross-up. I think he got a fastball up and in, and that's why we saw the drastic reach up, and I think he thought he was going to get slider or cutter down and in. He's going down. Look at the glove. And when the ball starts high and he's expecting it to break down, but then it stays up, he's like, woo, got to get to that one. Bumgarner and Posey almost moved Taylor to third without Garlick having to do it.
This is the 211th time Buster Posey has caught Madison Bumgarner. 1-2 on Garlick, and another look at second.
Residue from Kike Hernandez taking a couple bags off of him, now paying attention.
Those are the first 2 steals of the year for Hernandez, by the way. 1-2. Another 1-2 pitch, and Garlick pulls it down the line. It's hooking. Foul. Putting together a nice at-bat here.
Just hooks this one OB a little bit. You always see the ball, then it was foul. If the ball disappears from that angle, it would have been fair.
And it would have been a home run. Got his first last night. He's got Taylor at second. Nobody out, 4th inning. And the 7th pitch from Madison Bumgarner. And the dirt ball, too. Bumgarner this season has been at his best with the bases empty, but as soon as men reach, that average spikes up around 400. Having a hard time putting the rookie Garlick away. This is the 8th pitch, and the count's gone full.
He's worked him inside an awful lot, and then trying to just catch that outside corner. The inside cutters and fastballs have been to try and make him pull the ball to keep Taylor at second. Right there, trying to lock him up, strike him out without having the ball put in play.
After falling behind, he's worked it full, and now Kyle Garlick swings and launches one down the line. It is gone! Kyle Garlick wins the battle against Madison Bumgarner, and the Dodgers lead 3-0. What a moment for the rookie.
When he hit his first home run to get the ball back, he had to sign a ball himself and give it away. Well, he just took the value of that ball up. I'm glad I got the Garlick ball from the first home run. And I wonder what the fan's going to want for the second one. Whoop, there it is. But this down and in pitch, it's scoop. There it is. He digs that one out.
Nice Jock Jams 2 reference. Ball one on Alex Verdugo. So back-to-back nights with a home run for Kyle Garlick. You know, there are certain home runs in certain ballparks that have that iconic look to them. And there's something about a home run hooked inside the left field foul pole at Dodger Stadium that you can take a snapshot of and put it on your wall. And you know exactly where that was and what that was. Verdugo waits on it and bangs it into right center. 3 consecutive hits to open the 4th against Bumgarner.
Yeah, this is the kind of going away party the Dodgers wanted to throw for Bumgarner. If this is a sending off party, last time they're going to see him in a giant uniform, this is what they wanted to do. They planned it, they put the emotions into it, and they're executing it right now.
Barnes takes ball 1. What are some other iconic home runs? San Francisco into the water.
Yeah. Over the Green Monster in Boston.
Sure. But also in Boston, pesky pole down the right field line. Home runs that curl around that.
Home runs in Chicago at Wrigley where the ball gets thrown back.
Which would be all of them hit by the other team.
Mm-hmm.
That's the homers that reach the road at Wrigley. Waveland or Sheffield.
Yep. Mike Piazza and Willie Stargell have hit a few here over the pavilion roof.
Barnes ahead 2-1.
When they first came back to the Dodgers to do these local broadcasts and regional broadcasts, one of the coolest moments for me was to walk into our studio and what they did to the studio with the iconic roof of Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
incorporated those kind of elements into the studio. I felt like I was walking into Dodger Stadium even though I was walking into a studio. And then they recreated the lockers with the jerseys hanging up. And then the televisions, the way they're set there, the big monitors against the wall. And that roof overhanging the different elements in the studio. It was and is a great design.
And you could just see the outline, just see the shape and know what it represents. Barnes drills it down the line, threatening the foul pole again. Going again.
To steal a line from you, Joe, moment after moment, memory after memory, those are photographic times to take a look at the left field foul pole here at Dodger Stadium. The light blue fence, the yellow foul pole, and the white ball. A lot of fun to watch.
And then cut to the shot of the Dauber down with a black and orange cap on it. Ball one on Chargois. First home run for Barnes since May 3rd. Ball and a strike.
How many times does it happen that a reliever bats in one game after the other? Joe Kelly last night, Chargois tonight.
Not often.
It tells you that the offense is firing on all cylinders. 9 runs, and here tonight, 5. And relievers are hitting.
Chargois will take a seat, one away in the 4th.
Center fielder, Kike Hernandez.
So back to the top of Hernandez. Through the years of this rivalry, which goes back to when baseball began, there have been so many faces that you recognize kind of represent each era on each side. And from a Giants perspective, they had the same manager for the first 3 decades of the 1900s. John McGraw was his name. They called him Little Napoleon. One of his coaches once said he eats gunpowder for breakfast and washes it down with warm blood each morning. That tells you about all you need to know about John McGraw's personality. He's a guy that hated the Dodgers so much, hated the Brooklyn Robins so much at that point, and his rival manager Wilbert Robinson, that as the Dodgers were getting ready to clinch their first pennant in 1916 in the final days of the season, instead of sitting there and managing his team and watching the Dodgers celebrate that pennant clinch, he left mid-game, still with a couple of days left in the season, to go to the racetrack and spend the last couple days of the year. He just couldn't stand to watch the Dodgers finish the season off. So it was John McGraw for a long time. The Barbers, Sal Magley, not as long of a time, but an antagonist nonetheless in the 1950s. They called him the Barber because of the close shaves he'd give hitters. 3-1 on Hernandez. And it seems like each one of the antagonists, from a Dodgers perspective, you have to have a protagonist to that, as with any plot. And when it was Sal Magley for the Giants, it was Jackie Robinson for the Dodgers, who once bowled Sal Magley over, bunted up the line intentionally to have Magley come field it, and channeled his old UCLA football days and trampled him. 3-2 on Hernandez. Can't talk about Dodgers, Giants, from a Dodger or from a Giant face perspective without talking about Juan Marichal. Of course, with the incident with John Roseboro in 1965, but besides that, 67 starts against the Dodgers in a Giants uniform. That is way more than anybody. Hernandez pulls a base hit to left field. That is the 5th hit of the inning against Madison Bumgarner. There were some down years for the Giants, so You go through a stretch where it's hard to have anybody that stands out too much as a antagonist, as a villain in a rivalry. But then you get Barry Bonds. He did what he did. He retired in 2007. Bumgarner debuted in 2009. So you had a one-year gap between Bonds and Bumgarner. And the Giants had so much in the way of veteran pitching for the first few years Madison was there that it wasn't until he emerged a couple years after that he became the guy. Well, there's been no question who the face of the rivalry has been from their perspective close to the last decade. When they are battering him around here in his final start, likely at Dodger Stadium in a Giants uniform as Turner singles to left.
First baseman, David Freese.
Matt Hergis, the pitching coach, coming out to visit Mad Bum. Probably because this is the most earned runs he's given up since late in April and the most against LA since back in 2016.
The first words that should come to mind after an accident. Fix auto.
Last All-Star season for Madison Bumgarner was that 2016 year. And the injuries started to bother him with the dirt bike incident in 2017. Prior to last season, took a line drive off of the hand in spring training and then tried to come back from that too fast, he admitted later. So wasn't quite himself. But he's done enough this season, you'd figure, where they're going to bring back a pretty nice return if they do indeed choose to deal him.
Well, they're going to have to get a package better than a top draft pick, because if he stays on and then files free agency, they would get somebody back through the draft. But that's part of his value too, because if you take him as a rental and then he files for free agency after he's been with that new team, they've got a chance to get compensation.
Oh, on to David Freese, chop left side, that'll get through. Here comes Hernandez with a late stop sign from Ebel to load him up. To load him up for Max Muncy.
Bruce Bochy knows the competitiveness of Madison Bumgarner, and he knows he does not want to come out now no matter what the score is. He wants to try and even the score with Max Muncy somehow. He can't change this scoreboard, but he can change the personal scoreboard of these two.
Strike one. Strike two as he went up the ladder with a fastball.
Max a little disappointed himself. You don't see him venture outside the strike zone very often. There'll be a little bit of the crowd noise, the intensity, and the guy he's going up against took him there.
Pops this one off of the hands. Out goes Crawford. On comes Yastrzemski to make the catch for out number two. And so Bumgarner gets Muncy with the bases loaded. Taylor's introduced. Bruce Bochy to the top step. Looks like Bumgarner's going to get a chance to finish it. Trevor Gott's been warming down in that bullpen, and he's ready to go as soon as Bruce Bochy wants him. And he Again, it is Taylor who stands in now. He's walked and doubled. One of the hottest Dodger hitters right now. Nice cutter, strike one.
Bruce Bochy going with the historic stats. Dave Roberts going with the hot bat. Taylor now against Bumgarner is 2 for 26. But one of the two was in his last at bat.
Oh, 0-2. One ball and 2 strikes. Dodgers with 5 runs on 9 hits against Madison Bumgarner, who coming into the game in 3 starts against him this year had given up 2 runs over 17 innings. Bases loaded, 2 gone, 1-2 pitch, low and in, 2-2.
In general, the Giants look old and tired, and the Dodgers look fresh and on a mission. And it's 2 organizations going in different directions right now. Dodgers trying to focus in on a world championship run, and the Giants in a major rebuild.
Fouled off, and it stays at 2-2. Fifth pitch of this 4th inning coming from Madison Bumgarner. It's another 2-2 to Chris Taylor. And it's drilled to left, another base hit. They go station to station. The Dodgers lead at 6-0. And they have pounded Madison Bumgarner into submission in his final start in a Giants uniform at Dodger Stadium. Jeep Grand Cherokee. Test drive one today during the Jeep Spring Sales Event. And by Wiener Schnitzel. At least 6 runs on 10 hits against Madison Bumgarner, and he lasts only 3 2/3. What is almost certainly his final start in this ballpark as a Giant.
It'll be interesting to watch how soon he gets traded, or even if he gets traded. But he will bring some value to another club. Maybe not as a starter, maybe as a reliever that has faced the playoff pressures and understands the moment.
And the new pitcher that'll try and keep the line right there is Trevor Gott. With the bases loaded, and Kyle Garlick, who hit a 2-run home run earlier in this inning, coming up. Rising fastball, fouled back, strike one. Kyle Garlick has the home run last night. He's got the home run in this inning. He has 2 3-home run games as a pro. 1 in A-ball and 1 earlier this season for Oklahoma City.
Chris Taylor just got his first multi-home run game last night.
Right.
In the big leagues. And he and Garlick were talking about it. I'm not sure even Taylor had one in the minors. He's like, Garlick, you've had 3 in a game? Oh, yeah, a couple times. They talked about it in BP, and Taylor went out and did it in the game.
Garlick, 80 home runs over the course of 4+ seasons in the minors. An 0-2 pitch from Gotti, swings through it, strike 3, inning over. But a 5 spot to chase Madison Bumgarner.
First win already in 2019. Time now for the T-Mobile connection to the game, and that is not the only history that the Dodgers are making. In fact, they already have a 50-25 record, which matches the 1977 team as far as getting off to 50 wins in their first 75 games. Only the 1974 squad had a better record at 51-24, guys. It has been impressive so far through 75.
No question about it. JT Chargois delivers ball on to Evan Longoria. With the Twins losing last night, Dodgers enter the day with the best record in baseball, 50-25. Buoyed by the dominance at home. They've won 25 of their last 30 here. Ball on a strike. Only one base runner for the Giants tonight. Posey doubled in the first inning against Urias. He went 3. And then Chargois with a 1-2-3-4. One and 2. It will be interesting to see, Oral, what, and we won't know how much this played into whatever it winds up being as far as return for Madison Bumgarner on a trade. But it'll be interesting to see what it does to his National League market if there are teams thinking, we got to beat the best team, we got to beat the Dodgers. Are you spooked by what the Dodgers did to Bumgarner tonight?
Yeah, you could be. It definitely would downgrade some evaluations. And scouts have to put a lot of things into their thoughts. You know, where's the fastball now? Where's the cutter now? Maybe after this outing, or maybe one more. Where's the health? And if you were only going to use him for an inning or 2 and you were thinking about convincing him to move into your bullpen, then that would be even a slightly different evaluation.
Regardless of what happened tonight, though, one of the greatest postseason performers of this generation. Chargois gets Longoria to chase for the first out of the 5th.
Dodger fans, mark your calendar for another additional bobblehead this season in the lineup. Wednesday, July 3rd, the first 40,000 fans in attendance when the Dodgers host the D-backs will receive a new Justin Turner bobblehead presented by Budweiser. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Whatever that raw material is that helped Madison Bumgarner do what he's done historically in October, that's a big part of what teams are so interested in. No matter what the numbers say in 2019. Kevin Pillar hits it sharply past the diving Taylor for a 1-out hit. And up comes Crawford.
Well, Dodgers hoping to win the second half of this game and keep it at 6-0 or even more, and then their attention is going to be turned to the Colorado Rockies, who've been really playing well and swinging the bats effective throughout their whole lineup.
It's kind of crazy looking at, you know, kind of the who's hot and who's not in the Rockies lineup. They're all hot. Nobody hotter than Charlie Blackmon, who extended his on-base streak to 30 games today. 30, 31. And got Arenado doing what he's doing. David Dahl has had a breakout season. Ian Desmond has even gotten it going. And the Rockies will come in here off of sweeping the Diamondbacks. Crawford down the line. That is going to make its way all the way to the wall. Verdugo will gun it in. Here comes Pillar. Relay to the plate. Not quite in time. And the Giants on the board and a double from Brendan Crawford.
Nice job on the relay. Ron Wotus, the third base coach for the Giants, probably glad that the hand got in there of Pilar, because, boy, this was close for a team with 1 out and down by 6. Pushing the envelope. You could have had second and third, 1 out. Instead, let's push the envelope and try and get the run. That was in the nick of time for the Giants and what they're trying to do.
So Crawford's driven in 3 of the 6 runs in this series for the Giants. It's a 6-1 game. Here's Yastrzemski. Went around, strike 1. They figured Ross Stripling would play a role in this game. Ross Stripling theoretically could play a role in the rotation moving forward with Rich Hill placed on the injured list, and it's going to be a while for Rich. I think the glass half full way of looking at it is that the MRI didn't come back and say he's got a torn UCL and needs Tommy John. But it is not going to be a quick stay on the IL.
They're going to be going through some therapy. He's already had some, and it could be 3-4 weeks before he puts a baseball in his hand again.
Yastrzemski down on strikes, 2 away in the 5th.
And then you figure once the baseball goes back in his hand, he has to have another spring training. So this could be a month and a half to 2 months that he has vacated his position in the rotation.
Pablo Sandoval to the plate to pinch hit here, and we go down to Alana.
Well, guys, I did talk to Ross Stripling about that fact that he could be right back in there in that Dodgers starting rotation, because he is certainly built up more than Julio Urias, and he doesn't have to have the innings or the pitch count protected like Urias does. He said, I've always prepared myself to be back in that starting rotation. Ross has made no mistake about it that he considers himself to be a starter. He said, I prepare myself every day for whenever they want me to take the ball, but he's fully prepared to fill that void that Rich Hill has left.
Now, what a nice guy to be able to have to do that. He was an all-star a year ago in that role. Strike on Sandoval.
Ross Stripling's in about, 80% of the major league's rotation, and not as the 5th guy either. He'd probably be up there as a number 3. So consistent, so prepared.
Foul ball. He gets him to fish, and strike 3 for the 5th inning, trying to take 3 of 4 from the San Francisco Giants. And in this series, they're outscoring the Giants 26-6, and off to a good start in this one.
They sure are. The 10 hits and double figures, and then 10 strikeouts on the other side for the Giants. So that's a pretty good equation to say you're probably winning the game.
Madison Bumgarner did not have his best stuff tonight, but that said, if it is the end of an era, it has been something to watch, and he has made this rivalry a big part of what it's been the last decade.
Yeah, he's brought a lot of intensity to both sides of the equation, and a tip of the hat to him and what he's done against the Dodgers for the Giants. And it's been a lot of fun to watch him, and we'll see if we get another glimpse of him in a Giant uniform, but the equation looking like this could be the last.
Derek Holland comes into the game for San Francisco, facing Alex Verdugo to open the 5th. Dodgers saw him a couple nights ago. Converted starter. That is foul, and it's 0-2. Verdugo 1 for 2. Singleton scored in that 5-run 4th. On the ground softly to Joe Panik.
Austin Barnes.
Well, as part of the 5-run 5th inning, Austin Barnes hit a 2-run shot. This is somebody who is really working hard at his mechanics. He's quieted things down. Much smaller leg kick, really no leg kick. It's turned into just a toe tap. And when guys make those changes, as you know as well as anybody, they're looking for something to hold on to affirm the work they're putting in.
When you start to change your mechanics, there are parts of your body that you talk to. And in simplifying, sometimes you want to move the same parts, but you just go with less is more. And you're right about the leg kick. It seems like it's a rhythm device for Austin, and he needs to move that front leg in a certain way to kind of start his rhythm. But to get the foot down quicker by not raising it up as high, slightly new hand position and then movement. It's almost a two-strike approach right from the very first pitch, which is his old style, but a lot less movement.
Austin a couple years ago in that breakout offensive season hit for a good amount of power. The Dodgers don't need him to be that guy. And so if he is adopting more of a two-strike look and two-strike approach right from the start, that's okay. That's low and in, and it's ball 3. He can fit in this lineup and fit quite well without hitting a bunch of home runs.
We talk a lot about getting your front foot down, and hitters talk about I'm getting it down on time, I'm getting it down at the right time. But it's not down until your heel's down. You can get your toe down, but it's not really down until the whole foot's down.
Chopper through. Second hit tonight for Austin Barnes.
So when you have a full leg kick, and then the first thing after the full leg kick, as the foot comes down, it rests on the ball of your foot, but then there's that extra little bit of getting the heel down. Sometimes that can jerk some parts above, and all of a sudden your eyes or your head are shaking and you don't make as good a contact. You swing and miss, trying to get some of that vibration out of the swing.
Dave Roberts working with a 3-man bench tonight, so the pinch hitter here is Kenta Maeda, who is 4th among pitchers in the majors, hitting .269 this year. It's likely a sacrifice situation for him. Been very good at that as well.
Get the sacrifice down, protect your average.
Buddy.
0 for 0 with a sack. He needs to go shower. That was a lot of work.
For an off day for a pitcher, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look, he went out there with the shin guard and everything. Full garb, now full smile.
Well done, Kenta. In the scoring position goes Barnes, and up comes Hernandez. Down and in, ball 1. Longoria's got it at 3rd, and that's down for the Dodgers in the 5th. Boys in blue tomorrow night at Dodger Stadium as the Dodgers open their weekend series with the Rockies and then stay after the game for Friday Night Fireworks presented by Denny's. Some restrictions apply. Go to Dodgers.com/promotions. And a pitching change now brought to you by BioFreeze as Ross Stripling comes in.
Well, Ross, if he is not auditioning for the rotation but getting ready to be moved into the rotation, he'll want to build his pitch count. And with the score 6-1 and 4 innings left in this one, we'll see how much he would be able to eat up his pitch count over his last 4 outings. The maximum has been 30. The minimum has been 13.
Top of the lineup, Joe Panik, strike 1. Panik is 0 for 2. Giants offense tries to scratch and claw from a 6-0 hole. Trying to avoid an 11th consecutive game against the Dodgers where they fail to reach 4 runs. A year ago, Ross Stripling was a savior for the rotation with the injuries they dealt with early. Started the year in the bullpen. Was in the rotation in early May. And of course, became an all-star. Panik flips it foul, and it stays at a ball and 2 strikes. Went 8-2 with a 2.08 earned run average during the first half. Second half, numbers not nearly as good, and that was left off of the postseason roster. And Ross has been very open about how the numbers faded. He said you can't plan or prepare yourself for how taxing it is to make that many major league starts in a season. An innings total that he'd not gotten close to. And of course, somebody who has had Tommy John surgery, so there was still a buildup coming from that. Plus, he didn't have his normal rest from the All-Star break because he was in D.C. participating. That's a bouncing ball to Freese at first, and Panik is out number 1. So the only way to learn how to handle it physically and mentally is to actually have gone through it. And he was looking forward to taking what he learned and applying it here in 2019. A bit of a different role that he may have envisioned applying that in. Here's Austin. But as I often tell the guys who hope to make the rotation, especially in this organization, but don't, stay ready. You just never know. Stripling may be the guy that gets plugged into the rotation moving forward.
Another guy with a great demeanor to not get angry in the areas where he could be very frustrated and get distracted from being his best. And so whatever role he's been in, because of his great personality and ability to analyze the situation rationally, he never gets irrational. He does voice his opinion of what he wants to be and who he is, but then channels that frustration into filling the next role for as long as he's in it.
Here's 1-1 to Tyler Austin as a curve hit foul 1-2.
It's probably why he's very good in finances and a good stockbroker and looking after his own portfolio, that he doesn't really get caught up in the swings. He doesn't chase things. Probably has an amazing long-term perspective on his future, what he's going to do after baseball, and how he's going to finance it.
Austin goes back up the middle, but Taylor's there. 2 up, 2 down. So much of a long-term perspective that when Ross Stripling had the elbow surgery, he very strongly considered hanging it up because his long perspective told him it is already hard to make it to the majors. Even if you're a pro, you still have a very small chance of actually making it to the majors. Now, I have Tommy John surgery. Shouldn't I just use my degree, use those smarts you're talking about, and go get a quote-unquote real job? But decided to stick with it. Obviously been a good decision. Here comes DeBusker Posey with a fastball away.
One of my first times back in the Dodger uniform, Ross came up to me, and I was helping out with Rick Honeycutt and the guys in spring training. And I took a liking to Ross because he talked about playing alongside my son and how much he enjoyed Jordan, my son. So in doing that, I paid special attention to his side work that day. Actually helped him adjust a little bit on a grip. And then he ended up needing Tommy John surgery, and I was like, oh, I hope I didn't show him some grip that caused stress on his elbow that caused that surgery. Fortunately, it was wear and tear, and it wasn't some acute injury. But you fall in love with a kid, you help him out, and now all of a sudden he ends up with Tommy John, and you're like, just got back in the Dodger uniform. You go, oh, no. And Ross remembers that day, and I remember that day. And I was so glad when he made it to the big leagues. I was so happy for him. And it was a relief, let's put it that way.
He said he came back after getting healthy finally to spring training, just trying to remind the front office and the coaching staff that he still existed because it was a new regime that had taken over. And Ross Stripling had just been a guy that they saw a name on the injured list.
Exactly. And he was impressive prior to the Tommy John surgery.
Full count on Posey.
So he knew that it was a long climb from prospect being watched very carefully, then might bust into the big leagues. Michael Wacha at the time, his college compadre that was pitching in the big leagues and doing well in the playoffs with the Cardinals, and he was about to make that step, and all of a sudden he's hurt.
Comes back to get Posey looking, then work a 1-2-3-6.
Hill placed on the 10-day IL with that left tendon flexor strain, if you will. And Dave Roberts had this to say about filling that void and the loss experienced from Rich's absence.
To lose him the way he's been pitching is disheartening, any way you look at it. Big part of what we're doing right now going forward. So to have him being shut down for 3 to 4 weeks and, when he does get back, as we do expect him to return this season, he'll make us better. So right now, at least we know the prognosis, and we just got to go from there.
And with that flexor tendon strain, guys, they don't expect Rich Hill to even pick up a baseball for 3 to 4 weeks. But both Rich Hill and Dave Roberts do expect him to be able to pitch before the end of the season. Dave said that there's enough time in the calendar for him to be built up again as a starter.
All right, Alana, we were just talking before he left that game about how he felt as good as he's felt in a long time. Justin Turner leading this inning off and hitting a high fly ball foul. We talked about, and I think jokingly, but only kind of jokingly, that he could see himself pitching until he was 50. He was feeling that good, feeling that healthy.
I'm not going to put anything in front of Rich Hill and say he can't do it.
Smart.
Because of what he's been through his whole career, all the different organizations, the reinvention of himself, never giving up. He's got a heart of gold, and he's a very strong man mentally. And so we wish him the best and quick recovery, and pitch till you're 50 if you want.
And when Rich is challenged, that's when he seems to be at his best. Seems to feed off that. It's in the dirt, 1-2 on Turner. He's been tested so many ways. The obvious ones in baseball with the injuries, but the personal ones too, losing an infant son. Chase at a ball and 2 strikes on Turner, who is 2 for 3 tonight. 2 of the 11 hits for the Dodgers as they lead at 6-1.
You know what I enjoy the most about Rich, even beyond all of his experience and wisdom, is he's still inquisitive and still wants to learn. He's always looking for edges. So much fun to talk to about any subject because he is right there with you and hanging on every word and contributing in the conversations, and they're always rich. In 2 ways, Rich.
I was going to say, wait, yeah. Oh, I got you. That is Turner's 3rd hit of the night. It's his 2nd double. And the Dodgers have the leadoff man in scoring position in the 6th.
Another smooth swing. He's like the Freddie Couples of baseball. There's just so much power that he generates with a very smooth, effortless rhythm.
Golf reference.
Yes, golf reference from my generation too, so I apologize for
I can
reaching
appreciate
back.
Fred Couples. Freeze rips it a high fastball. It's 0-1. Yeah, I think just kind of putting a bow on that Rich Hill conversation. We as fans of the game enjoy guys that we feel like we can relate with. And Rich Hill seems like such a human, right?
Yeah.
And he is as everyday Joe, down to earth as you're going to meet. Not just among baseball players, but across any walk of life in any profession. He is as down to earth, as human as they come.
He's the guy next door that if he says, oh, we don't know what we're doing from here, oh, come on over, we'll grill some steaks. And,
Right.
just right off the cuff.
How you like him done? Freeze hits it hard, right by Holland. Panic knocks it down and has time. Turner to 3rd.
baseman number 13, Max Muncy.
And here's Muncy. So this weekend is going to be quite the matchup between the Dodgers and the Rockies. Since the Rockies started the season 3-12, that was the same date where the Dodgers had dropped 6 in a row and were 8-8. From that point forward, they've been the top 2 teams in the National League. And the Rockies have been the #1 offensive team in baseball in just about every category. That's strike one on Muncy. The reason that I bring that up now is you're going to have dueling on base streaks going. Blackman's 30-gamer and Muncy's 29-game on base streak. Ouch. Got a Posey.
Oh, got the puppies. You talked about the hip surgery and what it's like to go back there and be a catcher after hip surgery. It's not a lot of fun even after you get one off your toe.
Protects, and we'll do the 0-2 again. Turner at third, one gone. Infield plays halfway for Bruce Bochy as Muncy gets ready for another 0-2 and fouls it off himself in the box, and they're all feeling it.
Nowadays, with all the rule changes, it's about the only time baseball is a contact sport. Oh, in step.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry, but those seem to go away quickly because they get right back in the box, or Posey gets right back and starts catching. But they feel those for about 2 to 3 weeks.
That's one of the things, and a nice stop by Posey there, that I don't think gets talked about enough is, I mean, think about it at home. Every day you wake up, you feel something, right? Like your lower back hurts, so you got to stretch out your hips when you get out of bed. You never totally feel great. Well, how about your livelihood depending on how your body feels? And you're playing every single day like these guys are. Very few days over the course of a 162-game season do they feel great.
Everybody plays hurt. The only time you're not playing is when you're injured. But everybody plays hurt. Rich Hill moved from hurt to injured because he talked about forearm tightness, maybe the elbow being a little tight for a couple outings prior to going on the IL.
Muncy's worked it back to 2-2. Here comes Holland, and that's ball 3. For Max, it was that wrist injury for the first month or so that he dealt with throughout all spring training. Managed the pain. He's come out of it. 8th pitch of the at-bat, and he swings and misses for strike 3.
You were talking about the Colorado Rockies, so be one of the first 40,000 fans at Dodger Stadium on Saturday when the Dodgers host these Rockies, and then receive a Kike Hernandez jersey tee presented by San Manuel Casino. For more information, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
And that'll put us about a week and a half away from the Han Solo bobblehead. Big time. 2 out for Taylor. Strike 1. I understand that Han Solo bobblehead is part of a ticket package, though. You don't just get a ticket to the game, walk through the door, and get one. You have to buy a special ticket package in order to be eligible.
It is. I hate to venture there without some copy, but I think
that's
you're
smart.
exactly right. I struggle enough even reading copy, so I'm not going to go there without it.
I'll be honest, sometimes you're better off the cuff.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not on the air, but it's off the cuff.
Chris has been on 3 more times tonight. Here he takes a little bit high, and it's 1-2. A walk, a double, and an RBI single. 7 for his last 9. Two and two.
Reading a promo is the only time I really get a prompter. You don't get a prompter back in studio. The only time the prompter's used by the analysts back in studio is when Ned Coletti and Jerry Hairston are having bump wars. So they read the bumps going to commercial instead of John Hartung. Other than that, Hartung gets the crutch. But
Crutch, he doesn't need it.
he doesn't need it. I was just kind of jabbing at him because I know he's listening.
As smooth as they come.
Oh, he's fantastic. He is such a great asset for Dodger fans and our network. It's ridiculous. Makes it so much fun to transition back into studio and does such a great job on a daily basis.
Dodgers trying to cash in on the leadoff double from Turner. He stands at third with 2 gone. And Holland brings Taylor another 2-2 that misses in, full count. The payoff. Did he go? No swing. Ball 4. So Taylor's been on all 4 times. 2 hits, 2 walks, and Kyle Garlick comes up.
Number 41, Kyle Garlick.
Chris Taylor rewarding Dave Roberts. Dave, even with his history against Bumgarner, 1 for 24, Dave Roberts putting right in the heart of the order, and he has performed. Pretty much showing that when he's hot, it doesn't matter who's cocking their arm out there. He's going to figure out how to get a hit and get on.
So first and third, 2 gone, and the hitter's Garlick. That's through a base hit to left. And the Dodgers lead 7-1 as Garlick drives in his 3rd of the night.
He keeps this up, he's going to get a nickname.
You got any in mind?
Not really.
I mean, there are a lot of options with the last name Garlick.
I'm just really trying to light up our Twitter accounts tonight, and even his, to see what people think.
Here he drives in Turner. Driven in 3 of the 7, and he gets Verdugo up there. Verdugo, who nicknamed himself the Kid.
That takes me back to Kenny Landreau nicknaming himself KT.
Strike 1.
Tommy Lasorda came up to him and said, KT, how'd you get the nickname? Is your middle name Thomas? He goes, no. He goes, well, KT, how did you get the nickname? He goes, I just like it. He goes, you can't nickname yourself and just pick a letter out of the sky.
So really, T, he just liked the ring with K. That's all it was.
Jokingly, to justify his nickname, he said to Tommy, but what about the guy who named water H2O? So he had a very good sense of humor to come back at Tommy.
Alex chose the Kid because he's a huge Griffey fan, and he is a kid. Muscles this one to left. Yastrzemski will put it away and end the 6th, but the Dodgers add 1 on a base hit from Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times. Dodgers out hitting the Giants 13-3 in this game, and they lead it 7-1. To the 7th, we take a look at the calendar presented by Nissan. We mentioned the Rockies in over the weekend. Saturday exclusively on Fox. That'll be 4 Los Angeles time before they go back to the road. Ross Stripling upstairs, ball 1 on Brandon Belt. The road trip will be 3 to Arizona and 3 with Colorado. So you go, what's it been? May, June, 2 months without playing the Rockies, and then you see them twice in the span of a week and a half. That's a strike 1-1.
That's the no rhythm to the modern schedule. That's okay.
It's actually 4 games in Colorado, so you see him 7 times in a little more than a week. Belt down the line. Foul. That was my love for Coors Field, trying to hope our way to 1 less game. It didn't work. It's going to be 4.
There's a lot of funny things that happen in that ballpark. Thought it was very interesting to see the earned run averages of guys after they leave Coors Field, teams that leave there, and how tough it is. Because it just wears you out as far as dehydrating you, long games, tough on your bullpen, tough on your starters, tough on the body of the regulars.
Well, the Rockies' offense has been great, like we talked about, but the starting pitching that was such a big part of their breakout season last year, reaching the postseason, it's been one of the worst units in baseball. Congo's full on Belt. Bullpen had been better over the first couple months, but having some issues lately, especially that series against San Diego last weekend. 92 runs in a 4-game series. Leadoff walk for Belt.
Baseman Evan Longoria.
And here's Longoria. Curveball misses, and it's 1-0 on Longoria. 0 for 2 tonight with a couple Ks, and 2 for 12 in this series. Bouncing ball to short. Taylor to the outfield grass. Won't have a play as he couldn't pull it out of the glove cleanly. That is an E6. And 2 on with nobody out in a 7-1 game. Here's Pilar. We're talking about that Rockies series. Game 1 will be tomorrow night, and our next game probables brought to you by Audi. Walker Buehler for the Dodgers and German Marquez, who signed a long-term extension prior to this season. He got off to a great start, but has not been nearly as good as last few times out. Ball 1 on Pilar.
Walker gets an extra day of rest, but doesn't draw the light-hitting Giants, gets the hot-hitting Rockies. But with his stuff, it really doesn't matter. If he's on his game, you can be hot-hitting. He'll put you to sleep.
One-on-one. Buehler, he's at the point right now where every time he pitches, I don't know about you at home, but I tend to feel like you sit on the edge of your seat, kind of lean forward, and right from the first pitch, you rub your hands together and say, all right, what's he going to do tonight? Could this be the night where he does something special?
I think he's got a shot to make the All-Star team, and if the Dodgers wouldn't have slow-played him to keep him fresh for October, probably would have been able to pencil him right into the All-Star team. The slow playing and ramping him up, he got off to kind of a rocky start, not really having the range.
Pilar down the line, foul.
early this year for Buehler. You know, the fastball command wasn't there. The breaking ball wasn't really completely there. And then we saw he would do really well for 2 innings or 3 innings. And then the next outing he'd do well for 3 innings or 4 innings. But then he'd hit a wall. Well, when the wall got erased, Walker Buehler all of a sudden is elite. And something special could happen anytime he takes the baseball.
Barnes couldn't hang on, and it stays at 1-2 on Pilar.
Looking for a double play ball. No out, first and second, 7-1 lead. Looking for a routine out, but you'd love to get a routine 2 outs. And for Ross Stripling, breaking ball is the ground ball pitch. His curveball gets a lot of ground balls. His fastball gets more pop-ups.
Hey, look at that. Breaking ball to third. Turner to second. Muncy to first late. Almost the full equation, but Pilar runs well. They do get 1, and so at the corners, 1 gone.
Pilar's got to hit it harder with his speed. But Ross Stripling got what he wanted. Get a routine out. Justin Turner did a nice job getting one of the leading ladies and keeps the double play in order for the next hitter, Brandon Crawford.
Drove home the Giants run with a double in the 5th. He's driven in 3 of their 6 runs in this series. Dodgers outscoring the Giants 27-6 over these 3.5 games. After the Giants took the first one 3-2, I think you've had back-to-back what would qualify as angry wins. We talked about that earlier this year. Lofted to left field, but no big deal for Kyle Garlick. He's got it. Bell will come home from third, make it a 7-2 game.
Not to go unnoticed, Kyle Garlick throwing that ball to the correct base with a very strong, accurate throw to second base. 7-2 is one thing with a man on first. 7-2 with a man on second and throwing that ball to the wrong place. It's a little different. This is a strong throw. A couple steps from the warning track, and this is a 1 hop exactly where you want it.
It's Yastrzemski with 2 gone. 2 Ks tonight for him, and he takes ball 1. Yastrzemski went to Vanderbilt, was teammates with Walker Buehler there. Played 4 seasons and got his degree in crime and society at a very good school. That's a little bit in, and it's 2-0. He stayed because he had promised his father, who had passed away a few years earlier, that he would, no matter what, get his degree before he became a pro baseball player. His dad had an All-American career at Florida State, but didn't get his degree. Went to the minors. Career ended there. That ball smoked to right center field. Yastrzemski hits his 2nd home run of the series. And he has the Giants right back in this game at 7-4.
Fastball, outer half. He didn't miss it. A little different game now after that 1 swing.
So the Giants have scored 4 of the last 5, and with 2 gone, it'll be Donovan Solano pinch hitting out of the 9th spot. Sam Dyson warming in the Giants pen. Back-to-back nights with the Dodgers trying So all hands on deck, string it together. Last night by necessity with Rich Hill leaving after 1 inning. Tonight was planned to move everybody else back, get all the other starters a day extra. That's strike one on a breaking ball. And gets the same for strike two.
Yastrzemski's home run. Prior to that, this pitch right here was called a ball. And now you got a little different count. You're like, I need to get back in the count and get a strike. Well, the strike gets hit out. It shows you a little bit of the edges that just one pitch can change the outcome of the next pitch.
Here's an 0-2. Chop wide, and it's 2-2 still. Donovan Solano, 31 years of age, from Colombia, just producing more and more baseball talent. Debuted in the majors years back with the Marlins, time with the Yankees, and now in his first year with the Giants, making a good impression. On another 2-2 from Stripling, he fouls it back and will do it again. So 3 runs in this inning against Stripling. 7-4 game in the 7th. Solano rips one up the middle past Taylor.
Joe Panik.
Ross Stripling showing a little rust with his location. He's spinning it, he's making it break, but his locations are a little bit more hard of the plate or slightly up. He's had 3 days off a 17-pitch outing, and that's all he has had this whole week. So hasn't been out there very much. Strength, but not location right now.
Top of the order, Joe Panik. Down the left field line, Garlick sprinting over and sliding pretty skillfully to avoid a collision with a wall, and it's 0-1.
Heading over there, losing the hat, sliding. And when you start to feel the cinders under your feet, that's when you know after about 2.5 steps it's time to go down.
Pedro Baez. Ball 2. Panik reaches. Tyler Austin would come up representing the tying run.
After the 5 runs in the bottom of the 4th, 6-0 Dodgers, you didn't think there would be any high leverage situations for the Dodgers, but now Dave Roberts, arms folded, exhaling and rattling his lips. A pitch or 2 away from making some decisions.
This is a 2-1, and Panik chops it to Freese, who will step on the bag and retire the side. But the Giants change the tone with a 3-run 7th, and we stretch at Dodger Stadium.
Time is running out to vote your Dodgers to the All-Star game. The primary vote, which is the first phase of this, ends tomorrow at 3:59 p.m. Eastern. Now, the primary vote will pick the top 3 as far as each position is concerned in the infield, the top 9 for the outfield, and then the 1 designated hitter, the top 3 for the American League. Now, once the primary is over, the election will begin at 12 Eastern on June 26th and last about 27 hours, and that's where the starters will be chosen as far as the All-Star hopefuls are concerned. Cody Bellinger is the overall leading vote getter, so we know he's going to be there. Several other Dodgers on the ballot. Of course, Dave Roberts gets to choose some of those guys because he is the manager of the senior circuit in the All-Star game. Certainly Hyunjin Ryu a possibility, maybe even to start. But get your votes in because the primary round, the polls close tomorrow, guys.
All right, Alana. Dodgers with a 7-4 lead in this game as it goes to the bottom of the 7th inning. And Sam Dyson comes on to pitch. Worked a 1-2-3 inning on Monday night. And in the month of June, 5 games, no runs. 8-9-1. Barnes to lead off. Down the line, Austin Barnes having a night with a new swing. Homer, single, double for Austin Barnes.
He's got the wheels for a triple to go for the cycle, but I'm not sure he's going to get back up again. But boy, does he look good at the plate. Short, quick, simple swing. And hasn't lost any power.
And Jock Peterson with the pitcher's spot now. Pulling the trigger against a right-handed reliever here. 19 home runs this season, and of course all 19 have come against righties. Jock, who is 2 for his last 36. No 1 pitch. Leaves it up, ball 1. We saw Pedro Baez warming last inning. He has taken a seat. Whether that's because he's good to go or no longer needed, we're not sure. But it's Yimi Garcia also warming.
Jock been working very hard at learning how to play first base. It has been a consistent effort from the staff and Jock coming out early before batting practice, having a lot of skull sessions over there with Dino Ebo, Dave Roberts, anybody else who understands different things over there at first base that he needs to learn.
Lifts the fly ball the other way. Back goes Yastrzemski at the wall and gone. Jock Peterson has clubbed his 20th of the season and given the cushion right back. It's 9-4.
This will become tonight's top-tier play of the game, brought to you by Arco. This swing and this blast will sit Pedro Baez down. I think Yimi Garcia will be coming into the game now. And it also extends the Dodger lead. Boy, when he hits it, it's either a home run, not many singles.
Ouch. He can hit for the 2nd time. I think he got him right on the elbow pad, though, based on the lack of reaction.
I'm not sure there was malice there. It was just overthrown from the disgust of giving up a home run. Yeah, that ball just got away from him.
Hey, so to your point, Jock Peterson now has 48 hits this year. 20 of them are home runs.
Yeah. He doesn't know how to hit it softly.
20 home runs, 21 singles. And the Dodgers, for a third consecutive night, have 9. Still nobody out. And Turner watches one tail in for a strike. These couple runs coming against Dyson, who hadn't given up a run since May. Turner 3 for 4 so far. Behind 0-2. Yimi joins Pedro. And Josh Sborz, just called up today, begins to warm.
You see first all the time in games, and I've never seen that in the Dodger bullpen.
Just hanging out. Those guys are inseparable.
That's true. Stride for stride when they're out doing their running pregame.
Stride for stride when they're sitting there.
Yeah. Yimi, pick up your cup.
Backs up, ball 1.
The fans didn't like that, but that was just a breaking ball that came out early. Short-term memory of TK getting hit after a home run swing. Now Justin Turner, somebody you don't want any baseballs around his hands or wrist.
He's down on strikes, 1 away. Dyson to face Freese. On deck, Cody Bellinger. One 1-0 on Freese. David 1 for 4 tonight. All 9 spots in the order have at least 1 hit for the Dodgers. 15 total. Bouncing ball towards the middle. Crawford's got it. He'll shove it a panic. Turns it to first for a double play. And sends us to the 8th and a 9th.
Tomorrow on an all-new Backstage Dodgers, follow Kenta Maeda through his day before start routine as he prepares to take the mound. Plus, take a look back at Maeda's return home to Japan for the MLB All-Star Series. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers, presented by Cadillac, tomorrow after the postgame on Sportsnet LA.
Dodgers 9, Giants 4, 8th inning. And it's finally happening. The Major League debut for Josh Sborz, who was up for about a week earlier this season. It's just there was never a game situation that presented itself for him to come in and debut. So it was that close. He hung out in the bullpen for a week, wore that uniform for a week. But just now gets to throw his first pitch as a big leaguer. It's ball 1 on Tyler Austin. Here's his 1-0, and Austin watches it miss inside ball 2. Bunch of defensive changes. Verdugo's now in center field. Bellinger was in the on-deck circle when last inning ended. They plug him into right. Hernandez now at second. Muncy's out of the game, and look who's at first, Jock Peterson.
That'll be a trivia question for Spores. Who was at first in your first big league inning?
Yeah.
Friends and family will only remember.
So Spores with his major league debut. Peterson with his major league debut at first base. And you talked about it. He's been working hard at it. Close to an hour spent out there, hours before the game today. And look, the ball finds him. And he finds it for out number one. Isn't that how it always works?
The ball finds you. And it was a forehand catch. Look at Cody Bellinger yelling in at him. Maybe even the Giants bench yelling at him. He prefers the backhand. You see, he wanted to work that into a backhand. They said, oh, I'm supposed to keep charging and get in front of that. See, he was about ready to turn the glove over and do the backhand. But nope, got to get in front of it.
Cody Bellinger throws his hands up in the outfield like they just clinched the pennant.
He exhaled as soon as he double gripped it. Had a little snow cone.
Here's Posey. Ball one.
I'm thinking he's using Cody's glove, too. That glove looked too broken in to be the one that he's been using.
Yep. Same glove that earlier this season was borrowed by Gerardo Parra after Parra was traded from the Giants or let go by the Giants, picked up by the Nationals. Nationals wanted to use him at first. He didn't have a first baseman glove with him. And so he borrowed Cody Bellinger's. Ground ball is short. Chris Taylor. 2 out.
I mean, we might as well turn back the clock and where players used to leave their gloves on the field.
Right.
Out in short left field, short center field, short right field. They used to throw their gloves down and then just come back and get them later after they've done hitting. Going back out on defense, picking their gloves out off the field.
Two up, 2 down, and here's Bell. That is high and ball one from Spores. With the College World Series going on right now, Josh Spores, a former College World Series most outstanding player. Pitching for Virginia in their championship run in 2015. 4 games, he had 3 wins and a save.
That is one place that a lot of college coaches throw out the pitch count when they're going for the national championship. You hate to be the organization that's drafted somebody and then all of a sudden you're watching them pitch in the College World Series and they're getting slightly abused and pushed. You're like, that's going to be my property soon. I'm going to sign that guy.
Fastball to 95, gets a swing and a miss from Belt. 2-2.
If he has a 3-up, 3-down inning and the last hitter that he gets out is Brandon Belt, it will be a lifetime memory.
Challenge him with a fastball at 95. Belt able to foul it. Another 2-2. Taken low, full count.
His first 3 can be Austin, Posey, and Belt. Back in 1983, mine were Carter, Wallach, and Al Oliver.
How nervous were you?
The ball out of the ball bag in the bullpen, I didn't even need to warm up. I was already full strength right away. First few tosses there was nothing below 90. The adrenaline was so great. And I'm sure he feels it. We're watching him take those deep breaths, which is part of his normal routine, but I'm sure right now they're a little bit deeper.
25-year-old comes ready for another payoff pitch, and Bell pops it up. They're shifted over, so a mile to go for Chris Taylor, who can't quite get there, and it stays full. A couple of Virginia Cavaliers on the field right now. Taylor finished up at UVA right before Josh Sborz arrived. Both enjoyed trips to Omaha, though. One of the great programs in college baseball. Another 3-2. Flied to right. Bellinger. Welcome to the major leagues. Josh Sborz, a 1-2.
All right, thanks, guys. Wait, there's no prompter. Jerry, there's no prompter. Can you help me out?
I got this, John. On the verge of winning the series. We'll see you after the game.
He speaks.
Well, you know what? Of the three of them, Nomar is the most intelligent. He went to Georgia Tech, so he doesn't need a prompter.
That was, I mean, by pre-game or by post-game preview standards, that's an Emmy.
That was really, really good.
Mark Melanson to pitch the bottom of the 8th for the Giants.
I think Nomar should host the show, and John should be an analyst, and Jerry should play Nomar and not talk.
Bellinger will hit for the first time. Came off of the bench defensively last inning. And on the first one from Melanson, he swings and misses at a breaking ball. Now, the Dodgers over the last 3 games have 27 runs on 42 hits. Bellinger down on 3 pitches. 3 breaking balls from Melanson, 1 away in the 8th.
Shortstop number 3, Chris Taylor.
And here's Taylor, who has had another good night. Really good night. He's reached all 4 times, 2 walks, a double, and a single. Ball 1. Ball 2. Two and 1. Hey, did you read the news today about the commissioner's office signing off on the Rays being a 2-city team?
Really?
Yeah.
And what is the second city?
Montreal. They're going to play the first half of the season in Tampa Bay if they figure this out, and the second half of the season in Montreal.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Wouldn't that be like a nightmare for a player?
Yeah. I don't know what they're going to do on housing or schooling for the kids.
Right.
They just got a cut in pay because of the Canadian taxes. Playing home games in Canada. A little stronger tax bracket.
Grounded at Crawford. 2 out. And it'll bring up Kyle Garlick. And our Coors Light refreshing finish. He hit a 2-run shot earlier. One of the 3 2-run home runs they've hit tonight.
And he looks like a big leaguer, and he is performing like a big leaguer. Austin Barnes coming out of his slump with a little shorter swing. Jock Peterson off the bench joining the hit parade. Garlick started it. It was a lot of fun here tonight. Another 9 spot, 3 days in a row.
He takes high for ball 1. So they basically look at this as the best chance to keep baseball in Tampa Bay because they've had all these plans to build a new stadium and they've all pretty much fallen through. Crack bat flare. 3rd hit of the night for Kyle Garlick.
He's gone from a guy who, can I get my big league average up over 200 to now having it well over 300. There are young guys coming up here and getting their early at bats. Their batting averages can fluctuate like the veterans at the beginning of a season.
Verdugo with 2 gone. And if Verdugo can reach, it would get Barnes to the plate with a chance at a cycle tonight. So they look at this as a long-term plan, by the way, this Montreal-Tampa Bay thing. That is outside-the-box thinking.
Now, there's a few things that back in my day, if you'd asked me, do you think there'll ever be a position called the opener? And do you think there would ever be a 2-city team?
If I asked you that at 7 o'clock tonight, I think you probably would have said no way.
You're right. I would have said no way. You got to change with the times, and you got to make decisions that are going to be best for the game. And the commissioner thinks that's going to be best for Tampa Bay and for Montreal.
Oh, 2 to Verdugo, misses down and away, ball 1.
That's a topic we're going to have to dig deeper into. That's a long conversation. It'll be interesting to see the way, different portions of the media analyze it. Here's some ideas from around the country.
2-2. What was it like going to Montreal as a player?
It was where my first big league outing was. And I loved Montreal. It was a great city. They just struggled to draw consistently unless they had a winner. And, everybody said, well, it's a hockey town, first and foremost. And if Montreal wasn't really all the way to the top, they struggled to really good attendance. Maybe they can do it.
Verdugo down on strikes in this game. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. New Western fries from Carl's Jr. It's like a million Western bacon cheeseburgers dancing on each fry. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Get great deals on the all-new Toyota RAV4 Hybrid Electric during Toyota's Summer Savings event. Josh Sborz is going to get a chance to finish this game, it looks like, in his Major League debut. 1-1-2-3 in the 8th. Evan Longoria to lead off this 9th inning. And the Dodgers won't see the Giants again until September. One ball, no strikes. Giants will come here in early September. Dodgers will finish the regular season in San Francisco. And so they will be there when Bruce Bochy manages his final game. Should be a special thing. Ball 2 on Longoria.
Completely different feel for Josh now in his second inning. A lot of the butterflies and can I do this go away. And now you actually start to feel like you can get this done, especially from a 3-up, 3-down inning.
That should be a swing, right?
Yeah.
It is 2-2.
You wanted to check, but self-preservation continued the shoulder turn and turned it into a swing.
A 2-2 pitch is high and the count is full. $7:10 tomorrow night. Dodgers and Rockies. Walker Buehler against German Marquez. Really good matchup to get that series going. And then on Saturday on Fox, it'll be Hyun-Jin Ryu. It's as if they knew we were going to talk about the weekend probables there, the way they lined up. That's a leadoff walk for Longoria, the first base runner against Spores. Here's Pilar. Got a fastball by him at 95, 0-1.
It's no minor league fastball. It's been 94, 95. He's got a very deceptive delivery. When he takes the ball out of his glove, the arm goes down along the back leg. The hitter doesn't see it. Then it travels up the back side of his body. The hitter doesn't see it. And then it comes out of his head. He's always been able to spin the ball very well. It's about command, but see the ball go out, goes behind the leg, then up the back side of his upper body, and then comes out behind his head. So he's going to be sneaky fast, even at 95. And if the hitters have trouble seeing him, with the velocity at 95, the relative velocity might be more about 97.
Gets a swing and a miss, 1-2.
And if he can break it like that, that sharp. Just another example of the Los Angeles Dodgers' depth in the organization. This guy's a big leaguer in a lot of other teams. And the makeup is definitely there.
Two and two.
Now 97 with relative velocity of maybe 99 hiding the baseball.
Flip to right. That's going to be in front of Bellinger for a hit. So walking a hit to open this ninth inning against Spores. Yeah, Brandon Crawford comes up.
Team meeting on the mound to go over the signs for the man on second with a rookie on the mound. Cody Bellinger tried to give the deke like he was going to catch it. Old Longoria there, halfway, was enough to get there in time.
And just in case, Kenley Jansen. Nine years ago this Saturday will be the anniversary of Josh's older brother Jay debuting in the major leagues for the Detroit Tigers. He pitched one game at the major league level. It was an injury-riddled career. Was still able to march his way through the minors through those injuries, make that big league appearance. Strike one on Crawford. And now here's Josh, becoming the second Spurs boy to reach the bigs. June 20th, 2019. Nothing to one on Crawford. Spores comes home. Fouled off, strike two.
Looking for the range on that breaking ball and looking to harness it right now so Kenley Jansen doesn't have to come in this game. Fond memories of your first outing in the big leagues, trying to finish off 2 innings.
Crawford to right center field. And the Giants not going away yet. Verdugo able to deaden it. But 2 runs will come in to score. And this is a 9-6 game. That turns this technically into a save situation if Dave Roberts were to call on Kenley Jansen here, because the Giants have the tying run in the on-deck circle. And still nobody out.
Not only is Kenley loosening, but he is studying the scouting report, so I don't think he is up just to get some exercise. He might be in this game here in a heartbeat. Dave Roberts is top stepping it right now, and Rick Honeycutt is getting the answer from Mark Pryor if he's ready.
So the big league debut for Spores goes 1+, 1-2-3 in his first inning, but unable to get it out here in his second go at it, as the Giants go walk, single, double, and have made things interesting. Kenley Jansen will try and put an end to it when you come back. Josh Spores has a major league outing under his belt. He'll now try and hope to watch Kenley Jansen finish things off and feel a whole lot better about making that debut and checking that box. Kenley on to try and finish the game, and it is technically a save situation because it's 9-6. There's a man on, and the tying run is on deck.
He got up just in case, but just in case turned into this possible save, and Kenley will take it super seriously. This is a big part of the Dodger-Giant rivalry. Kenley loves to face the Giants.
Mike Yastrzemski will bat. Yastrzemski hit a 2-run home run in the 7th inning against Ross Stripling that cut the deficit very tight for a moment and made it 7-4. Dodgers were able to get 2 back on the home run from Peterson in the bottom of that inning. And the Giants answering right back here in the 9th with a 2-run double from Crawford. Driven in 3 tonight. Well, it was 5 relievers that strung together 8 innings last night. Jansen, the 5th reliever, if you include Urias, who started the game, to take the mound in this one for the Dodgers. Outside corner, strike one.
Earlier in the game, it would look like it was going to be a laugher. Strong pitching at the beginning of the game, very strong offense. 6-0 after 4. The Giants have battled back and made this a game. It's late, but it's still in the balance.
They've put, with this game getting tight, Cody Bellinger at first, and the Jock Peterson experiment at first base will be put on pause. He moves out to right. I beg your pardon, in left, and Garlick is in right. So not taking any chances now. No time to experiment. Kenley's 0-2. Mike Yastrzemski hit 2 home runs in his first 21 Major League games. He's hit 2 in his last 6 at-bats here this week.
Looking for 1 out to kill some of the momentum.
Pop fly to left. Peterson to the sidewall, out of room.
A lot of the fans have left, or there'd be a lot more energy in the building. It's been like a tale of 2 games.
Any energy there is now is kind of a growing nervous energy. Giants scoring 5 of the last 7 in this game. That's ripped to right center field. Another base hit. Crawford in to score. It's 9-7, and would you believe the Giants will bring the tying run to the plate in the 9th inning with nobody out.
Hitter number 21.
Trying to go up the ladder, end up going mid-thigh high away. Garlick doing the right thing, retreating on that ball.
It'll be a pinch hitter out of the 9th spot, Stephen Vogt, whose 1 home run was a game-tying home run in the 9th inning in his Giants debut. Strike 1.
Kenley rearing back, touching 93 right there. I don't think that ball was supposed to cut. I think that was a pitch. It was all about velocity. First one at 92 was supposed to be a cutter, and it cut a little bit. This could be a breaking ball.
Yet to see one. The 1-1. It is, and it's taken in the dirt ball too. Top of the order after Vogt. 9-7 game here in the 9th. Now going into the 7th inning, the Giants had scored a total of 6 runs over the first 3.5 games of the series. They've gotten 6 over the last 3 innings alone. 2-1 on Vogt, and here comes Jansen after a throw over.
Sometimes as a pitcher, you will check on a runner not to really hold the running game intact, but just to change the rhythm in the at-bat. Another way to set up the hitter.
Ball 3 very high.
Not the spray pattern that we've been used to with Kenley, as he's thrown the ball much better throughout the season here of late, in the last month or so. He's missing his spots right now by a lot.
It's an odd one for him, too. and paid a lot of money to close games, but it's an odd one. They led this game by a bunch. It looked like there was no chance he'd be needed. And then you blink, and here he is trying to close it down. Dangerous pitch. Ball 4, tying run aboard, and still nobody out. And now the top of the order with Joe Panik.
Does Bruce Bochy elect to bunt? Does he wait to see if a count builds and maybe hit and run? Does he just let Panik hit? He's dealing with an offense that usually doesn't score this many runs, and they still need more.
10:24 at night local time. It's getting to nighttime stress eating territory. Get out the gallon of ice cream. Go crazy. 2 on, nobody out. Jansen against Panik. First one. Not close. Close to the zone, but not close to where he wanted it. Panik choking up on this 1-0 pitch. A pop-up backing out of play, 1-1.
No sign of a bunt. Dodgers in double play depth up the middle. Justin Turner in a little bit at third. Cody Bellinger back pretty much normal depth at first right now.
Muscled into right center field, and the hit parade continues for the Giants. It's a 9-8 game. The tying run is in scoring position with nobody out.
He hits his target, but Panik does a nice job just getting it in, elevated in the air. Ball's on the ground, possible 2, but in the air, possible base hit, and that's what he got.
And now Tyler Austin. 0 for 4 tonight, but big-time power that he showed last night when he hit his 6th home run.
A lot of instructions from Ron Wotus, and I don't think it was about bunting as much as Bruce is going to let you swing the bat, but like you to hit the ball to the right side of the diamond.
They went 1 for 15 over the first 3 games with runners in scoring position. They've found something in these situations here in the 9th especially. 3 in the 7th, 4 in the 9th. Voted second, Panik at first.
Oh, he is squaring.
Wow. He lays it down well. Bellinger goes to third in time. Has he saved another run?
Number 28, Buster Posey.
They want to look at it. Cody made a very quick adjustment. As Austin squared, you see how far in he came, and he sprinted in. It's going to be close. Oh, he might be safe. Call in the field is out. It's got to be clear and convincing. Whoa. Out by a ½ inch.
On that replay, I was going to say safe by a ½ inch.
Okay, it's that close.
But if it is that close, as we often see, maybe it stands.
Yep. Can you believe we're watching a replay and this game's on the line?
Sheesh.
You know what? The fact that Justin Turner's heel is covering the edge of the base right there on that replay, that might be enough inconclusive evidence to leave it as an out. What a play by Cody Bellinger.
And you're looking for the moment that it hits the glove. And in this case, those fractions of an inch, those would mean the difference. I just don't think you can overturn it.
No, I don't either, because it's the toe that's leading into the bag, and you cannot tell when the toe hits the bag.
He's out.
If the call on the field would have been safe, I think he'd still be safe. The call on the field was out, and he's still out.
Dave Roberts hustling out for a quick pep talk with Kenley Jansen. That was real quick.
Just a little confidence booster. The whole play, as soon as Austin squares, Bellinger charges hard, has to reroute himself closer to the line, makes the throw with Austin Barnes slightly in his way. Justin Turner with the stretch, and it's enough to get the out.
Cody Bellinger playing first base for the first time since the beginning of May. And he makes a huge play for the first out of the 9th inning. Buster Posey, 2 on, 1 out. Dodgers 9, Giants 8. That is foul. Oh, my goodness, it's foul. And it's strike one.
Game of inches. Closer than inches on the last play. A little over a foot on this play.
Searching now, Hensley.
I'll tell you what, you're trying to get Buster Posey to hit into double play because you do not want to see Brandon Belt up there.
One ball and 1 strike. Second slider we've seen Kenley throw. Both of them have been taken. Inning started with a walk. This seemed harmless enough. 4 hits and another walk since then. The 1-1 pitch. Pop foul, 1-2.
You got a couple pitches now to try and make him chase. You can work the edges or off the plate, or you can work the edges too low or too high.
The 1-2. Two and two. Panic representing the tying run. Austin at first, representing the go-ahead run. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Buster Posey. Here comes Kenley Jansen. Good take and a full count.
Well, with the slider. A slider with the game on the line. It's good to see Kenley pull the trigger on that pitch. Just missed.
Three-two. Lifted to left center field. Verdugo on the move. He's going to get there for out number 2. Be still our hearts. Giants down to their last out.
Ball to the right side of a center fielder. It's always good to have a left-handed thrower out there because the gloves on the right hand gives you a little extra range. Verdugo with a nice jump, a great route. Easy catch once he got there, then just get it back in.
Well, it seemed like it was all fun and games on a night where they had their way with Madison Bumgarner. It's turned into a butterfly-inducing, stomach-churning, one-run game in the 9th inning with the Giants' best hitter at the plate. Strike one.
Kenley with no trickery there. Strength against strength. Belt knows he throws predominantly cutters. Belt was ready for it. Kenley threw it. Strike one.
Belt down the right field line. Overs Garlick to make the catch. Sweet mercy. 9-8 the final score. They hang on by that much.
Another chapter in the Dodger-Giant rivalry. A laugher turns into a nail-biter, but also turns into a Dodger victory.
They take 3 of 4 from the Giants. It is never easy, is it? Play of the game brought to you by Lexus. Who would have thought it'd be Cody Bellinger playing first base, throwing to third to get the lead runner in the 9th inning.
By a whisker, the game is not tied because of this play.
Now the Dodgers improved to 51-25 on the season. Taking 3 of 4 from the Giants and now 6-2 on this homestand as the Red Hot Rockies come in tomorrow to open up a 3-game series. For Orel Hershiser, Alana Rizzo, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Dodger Stadium, and we'll talk to you tomorrow night.